is Brainerd, Minnesota, last term saloon.
Columbia River fish are moving closer to facing the
There's
depth.
Ironton.
There was action on two fronts yesterday, as correspondent Tom Bonson reports.
First, in Seattle, the Federal Fisheries Service named a panel of experts there to review a request from Oregon, Washington, and Idaho to
Noon to 1 this afternoon, and he's giving away Hermiston watermelons and produce donated by Eastern Oregon farmers. The free all-ages pdxpup.org/radio. Just look for quick KBOO is holding its annual pickathon at Pendarvis Farm on Mount Scott. That's going on all weekend. And the 15th North American Jews Harp Festival is taking place in Bay City, Oregon, located 3 miles north of Tillamook. There is some discussion about whether Jews Harp is an appropriate name for the instrument. I've always called it a mouth harp. I also refer to it as the automatic tooth chipper. You can take your pick on that. Well, that's it for the Quick Take Northwest for Friday.
There's Crosby. Duluth is 99 miles. Cromwell, population 204, Salute.
Many of you are interested in reading his own personal account of that crash in the Andes.
Cromwell, liquor store. Parkville. Here we are coming into Duluth, population 86,319. This is a big, looks like a big water city.
Around the neck. So many people felt that, and maybe you feel ashamed of it, but it's something we need to talk about because it's not the problem. It's your lack of control. You see, you struggle to control it and you can't. It's worse. So on and so forth, etc., etc. Tell on yourself. Call this program and tell on yourself. Tell me that those secret thoughts. Let me probe and dig, and when I get close to something, help me. And that's when you can say, oh, I see it, and the problem goes away. 866 Radio Roy, FHU.com. 866 Radio Roy, that's the office. Business hours, West Coast time. Please call, and let us help you.
Lake like an ocean, Duluth, Minnesota.
And I have a gentleman online that will help me to emphasize that with you. Mike, are you getting the gist of what I've just been saying? There's a tendency to be drawn to, I suppose, from what you said a little while ago, you used to be affected by bullies.
Oh yeah, I was. I was very. My father died when I was 4, and my mom was ill mentally, and
she was the bully.
Right. And then as
years since you see me speak out like this, but I'm now married, and the gay life is behind me. And in 20 minutes, he said what he needed to say, what he went through, and what the real problem was. And I'll tell you what the real problem is for everybody. You could say that a drug addict can't help himself, and you can say the alcoholic can't help himself, because I don't see many cures. I see people going to Alcoholics Anonymous and going to, therapy and group meetings, group sessions, and they think of themselves on Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, how you doing?
Hi, Roy. How are you?
145 miles.
Thank you very much for taking my call. I wanted to.
Getting ready to come into a tunnel here by the name of Silver Creek Cliff. Looks like it's built right into the mountain, though, on the cliff. Coming up on another big old tunnel. We're way on up above Duluth, Minnesota area. On up the road a little ways. Looks like they could about build a road across this one, though.
Advice to my kids, I still do, and to anyone who brings it out of me in the moment. I used to say, now look, you have to learn to know, but innovating in the end. Because you do get a shot of adrenaline when you get upset.
I truly let go of the resentment.
Do you want to?
Lighthouse State Park.
Absolutely.
Well, then you go to my website and download the Seedling Thinking Life. In other words, to feel alive is not to be alive. It's to be more dead. That you're down there, feeling. Always feeling. Stimulation, excitement. See, that is a feeling of being alive that deadens you to reality.
Right, and I feel it affects me more than people I'm angry.
Of course. And people who make you angry infect you with that. When you give up your energy, when you get upset, you're giving up energy. You know what it looks like for two Alka-Seltzer tablets dropped into a glass of water?
Yeah.
That's how they feel. They feel a rush from that. They're drinking you in, so to speak, if that is a fair metaphor. They're taking your energy. It's by, what's the name for it in electronics? It's induction. It's induction. A person...
Coal yard here in the middle of nowhere. Right between, I guess it's an electricity plant, I'll bet you. Big old electricity plant, a big coal pile, and a big belt line. Right here between the ocean. I bet they haul it in here on the ocean before they get that, but there's thousands. I bet there's millions of tons of coal, if that's what that is. That's gotta be coal. Yeah, because I mean, I see the plant, you know, will steam up. That's wild, right here beside the lake, bro. Cascade River. Grand Marais. People sure make a big whoop-de-doo over the water, buddy. Here we are in just come into Ontario, Canada, Thunder Bay, 62 miles.